Motorhead Garage. We've got the latest in adjustable control arms, revolutionary flat repair, and a great first step in your auto restoration. Hello there, automotive fans. This is your very own show, Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat. Now, we have a sister show called Performance TV, and every once in a while, they let me host over there as well. And here's a segment from a while back that you are going to love, especially if you're an off-road fan. You know, Jeeps are some of the most customized vehicles on the entire planet. And the first thing you think of when you see one stock, of course, you want to put a lift kit on it. And Spence, that is what people do right away, and that's where they make a lot of mistakes. What goes wrong when you just buy any old lift kit?
They're just to get you up in the air, and they're missing quite a few parts that help with ride quality and flexibility.
Now, so it looks good.
Yeah.
But you're going to lack in performance, and it's going to add to wear and tear on your vehicle, and it can be dangerous.
Exactly.
So what are the things you guys are doing at Core 4x4 to improve that handling and improve safety?
So we build adjustable control arms and track bars, which is the parts that are most often missed in a lift kit. So they're going to help you recenter your axle, help you get aligned, and then also help with performance on and off-road. And
we know with Core 4x4 we're getting quality parts because you guys control everything.
Exactly. We build everything in-house. We machine it, weld it, and powder coat it in-house.
So you're getting a quality part made in the USA.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it. Now, it doesn't matter what your level of off-roading expertise is or how much you want to lift your Jeep or how you want it to perform. You guys have something for everybody. What'd you bring here?
So we offer 4 different tiers or levels to our products. Down at the bottom, you see the stock control arm. That's what comes on your Jeep. You get into our tiers, you got tier 1 at the bottom. It's just a basic adjustable arm. It's going to have a bushing at both ends, and it's going to ride very similar to stock. Now, the adjustability is important just to get your axle recentered when you lift your Jeep. Aside from that, you step up to tier 2, which is going to have a flexible joint on one of the ends here, and that's going to improve your ride quality, but also your flexibility off-road. Now, when you step up into our tier 3 or tier 4, you're also increasing your durability. We use a thicker wall DOM, very heavy duty, and we also used a forged joint as opposed to the welded joint. So you get the same adjustability, but you also get the durability in tier 3. And then tier 4 just has that flexible joint at both ends.
All the stock stuff is stamped. And how does your construction improve the quality?
It's going to be more rigid for sure. The stamped control arms, they flex and move a lot, and they eventually wear out, especially the bushings on there.
Where did the inspiration come for all of this?
When I was young, that's what I did. I got a Jeep, and I didn't have any money to lift it, so I started building parts.
So if I want one of your products, what do I need to tell you to make sure I get the right thing?
We basically make it pretty simple on our website. You just select your lift height and then your color and whatever else you need. We offer hardware for install, but you can reuse your factory hardware.
And what about warranty? You talked about durability.
Yeah.
What happens if something goes wrong?
You know, if I couldn't make something I could stand behind, I wouldn't make it. So we warranty everything for life. If you break it and manage to bend it, anything like that, you just send it in to us and we'll replace it for you.
So we have this Jeep behind us. What did you find when you looked underneath at the control arms?
So this Jeep's at 4 inches of lift and it still has its factory control arms. In a lot of lift kits, they'll use relocation brackets to correct your geometry. And that works, but you still have the stock control arms. We're going to leave it on there for simplicity of install. You can run our parts with correction brackets. You're just going to set them to stock length and bolt them right on.
One drawback with the bracket is that ground clearance suffers when you leave it on.
Yeah, ground clearance suffers. It also can be considered a weak point in the kit.
So how easy was this to actually install on this Jeep?
It's pretty easy. Just unbolt and bolt on.
That's it. How many bolts?
4 bolts for 2 arms.
Piece of cake and it's done.
Yeah.
All right, Spence, now let's talk track bar. Now, this Jeep has a single damper when you get it stock. The owner of this has chosen to put a dual damper system in the steering. No big deal for us, just 2 bolts. We swung one of them out of the way and that enabled us to work with the bottom bolt on the track bar. What do we do from there?
Exactly. After that, it's just 2 bolts. You unbolt it, you take our new track bar, you're going to set it to length and bolt it back in.
Okay, and then we had to drop it to the ground. How come?
Dropping it to the ground helps you line up that second bolt. By putting the weight on the Jeep, you can use the steering wheel to turn it back and forth until it lines up. Makes it real easy.
Cool, and once you drop that bolt in, one final step, once we take it back up.
Yep, torque it to spec, tighten your jam nut, and you're good to go.
All right, and I guarantee you, this Jeep looks better, it's going to handle better, it's going to be more durable, and of course it's going to be safer than it's ever been. And we thank you for being with us. You can check these guys out at core4x4.com. Well, there's plenty more where that came from, so stay tuned for more Motorhead Garage presented by TopCoat right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. LS Harness Connection, quality standalone LS swap harnesses and products at affordable prices. AP Laser, leading the way. And by TopCoat, make life easier.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat. Here is another segment from our sister show, Performance TV, hosted by yours truly. Hope you enjoy it. Everybody loves a great barn find, and those seem like such a great idea until you get it home and you look at the parts like this. It looks like you won't ever be able to get this part back and you'll need to buy something new. But guess what? It's not impossible. That is why Jeff is here to show us what we can do with parts like this, thanks to Eclipse Surface Technologies. And Jeff, what do you have?
So, Dave, we have a very unique, one-of-a-kind mobile vapor blasting system. And it is designed and engineered for just what you referred to. All of those rusty parts can be brought back to life and restored to like new condition and beyond. So we can do an awful lot with our system besides just cleaning and blasting car parts. We offer a very portable system. We have the ability to very quickly detach our blaster and take it where the work is. We also offer a way to do on-demand, both wet and dry blasting. The idea with our machine is to keep everything dry in the vessel, so the machine doesn't care what you put into it. Your media doesn't necessarily have to sink for it to work in our blaster. So what I'm talking about is it accepts baking soda, a very fine and soft media, but it also can shoot very hard abrasives and media all at once, if you will, right? If you wanted to do one part like a manifold using baking soda, you can do that, and then you can do a quick changeover to a different media if all of a sudden you're removing rust from steel.
And of course, operating it is super simple.
Very simple. I can train someone on how to use it in less than 30 minutes. Even our connections for the blast hose are color-coded. And then lastly, we offer a very broad pressure range. So for traditional steel blasting, most guys are gonna go at about 100 PSI. In our system, you can crank up to that pressure and blast all day long. But there are some times where you don't necessarily want to be so aggressive. So our system also allows the operator to bring the pressure all the way down to even 5 or 10 PSI. You're really not blasting at such an ultra low pressure, and instead you're doing a lot of cleaning, delicate cleaning operations. When you don't want to do any harm to the surface, when you want to be extra careful, this machine will allow you to do that. You would not need to switch over to a different tool to do that type of cleaning. We work very closely with the National Park Service, and they do use our machines up in Gettysburg for statue and monument restoration. And in that world, their slogan is to do no harm, right? They're preserving priceless works of art, if you think about it. Our system allows people to do that type of cleaning using a very environmentally friendly media and do no harm to that surface.
Well, if I have something like this and I've got a statue or something that's really sensitive and delicate, I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to experiment with it.
Right.
So what kind of support do you guys give me as an owner to do a project like that?
So it's unlimited support. So once someone becomes a customer of Eclipse, they're a customer for life. So not only do we make sure they get factory direct training on how to use the system and how to make sure that if they're approaching a delicate project, how to make that approach safe and sound, but they also may run into some projects a year from now. Call us. We can help guide them as far as using the right media, as far as using the right pressure. Do I want to use water or do I want to go dry? Those are all the different variables that people encounter every day, and we are there to help. We're very easy to get a hold of, and we take service to heart.
Who's your target market? Who are the people that are really using this all the time?
So it's twofold. Dedicated car professionals, auto restorers, absolutely. This is a wonderful tool to put into their toolkit. They can do an awful lot, not just traditional sandblasting. It goes way beyond that. But for the independent contractor, someone that's looking to start their own business or to add on to an existing business that they already are operating, this system can do graffiti removal. This system can work hand in hand with people in municipal garages. Companies have shutdowns, plants have shutdowns. They have a big need to do cleaning and surface prep in a manufacturing line, let's say, and our system would allow that work to be outsourced to the contractor, and they can come in with our system. It's very easy to bring into a plant environment and to do what we call clean in place or blast in place projects.
How easy is it to make this your own business?
It's easy to buy the system, right? And we can help people with financing options and things of that nature. But it's hard work. If you've never owned and operated your own business before, you have to be willing to put forth an effort. But we help people every step of the way. So if someone's willing to really make a go of it, my best advice is you got to be real serious about it. You got to understand the phone's not going to ring off the hook. You have to do your part. There's a whole world out there of digital marketing, which we're very well versed in, and we share all of our marketing intelligence with people. We don't charge extra, but we can give people some really solid tips on how to get their business off the ground quicker than some other guys.
Of course, you have to put some of the elbow grease in yourself, but really owning one, you guys make it easy at Eclipse Surface Technologies. If you want to check it out, go to their website. It's a really cool thing, and you get your own business started right at home. Do not go anywhere because Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat, is coming back at you right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
This Chevy Silverado truck looks great on the top and it looks fantastic on the bottom. Now, what if I told you that this truck is 12 years old and for its entire lifetime, it's been pounding around here in the salt and the ice of New Hampshire. But you don't have to listen to me talking about New Hampshire oil. Listen to one of the customers who's been coming here for years.
I found this one nice and clean, want to keep it like this, and this is a New England truck right from beginning, and I knew this was a place to take it, to start it on this program and keep it going. Happened to work for the state of New Hampshire. We plow and salt the roads. I don't have to do the brine stuff myself because I'm in the secondary roads, but you see it on the highways and stuff when they got to put in the solution. And when you get running your trucks over it and stuff, that actually gets in the little spots a little bit more than your crunchy salt will, so to speak. We just decided to start oiling our trucks. And we were laying on the ground doing it ourselves, and Joe's set up in Deering quite a long time ago in his barn and had the lift and everything. And I said, well, it's a lot better than laying on the ground. And then he just kept moving up from there and got better and better oil. And it's incredible. It's good stuff. Just lasts. And we actually sold some rigs that Joe had oiled for us in the past. And the people were amazed, no rust on it, you know. And they were New England trucks. And it works. Stuff works. They go right to every little nook and cranny. Do a good job with it and nice facility. I don't know, it's just great. It's top-notch service all the way around.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
The Magic Creeper, what a cool tool to have in your vehicle or in your home, anywhere you need to work, anywhere you need to get down low. The Magic Creeper is a tool for you. Ladies with long hair, dudes with long hair, you're gonna love the Magic Creeper because you can't get your hair stuck under the casters of the Creeper. There are no casters. The Magic Creeper is right down on the ground. It's a couple of pieces of fabric that glide over each other just like you are on ice. It's effortless and there's practically no weight limit to the Magic Creeper, so I know a lot of folks will dig that. The Magic Creeper can also go over any surface. Again, no casters. So you can go over rocks, you can go over grass, roots, no problem. If you leave a tool laying around, the Magic Creeper will glide over that effortlessly. You won't have to worry, and it's super comfortable on any kind of terrain. Magic Creeper also is great in the mud and the rain because it rolls over itself. The part that you stay on will always be dry. That's the part of the Creeper that will always stay under you. So the Magic Creeper is down in the mud and you are not. It's going to keep your cleathing clean if you're working on your car at home or if you have a roadside emergency. The Magic Creeper is the perfect thing to keep you clean and comfortable when you're working on your car. Cleanup of the Magic Creeper, very simple. Just use a little degreaser, use a cloth. You can get all the grease, all the oil, all the mud off of the Magic Creeper with no problem. It'll be good as new once you are finished. If you are looking for a Magic Creeper, the place to find it is magiccreeper.com. That is the only place you will find the authentic Magic Creeper, except no imitations. Magic Creeper, you're gonna love it.
Now, torque sequencing and torque specifications are more important than ever now than before. Well, why is that? Well, there's similar metals in the motor. Sometimes we're putting aluminum on cast. You got stretch to yield bolts in a lot of the newer motors, and the manufacturers are built in these extremely tight tolerances, so torquing is important. Now, we're all pretty familiar. If you pull up this graphic here, you can see the sequence working from the middle all the way out. That's usually normal, but what you may not know is you read down there, you can see the first pass at 22 foot-pounds of torque. We can do that, that's normal. but then it goes into 90 degrees and the second pass at 70 degrees. So what we'll do is we got it up here, and just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to torque this one bolt right here instead of doing the whole sequence. But I would pull this one normally, turn it on, and I'll go ahead and pull this one normally to 22 foot-pounds. Once I get it to 22 foot-pounds, you would stop. Then you go do the angle. The angle's pretty cool because I'm going to put this in series with the actual torque gauge right here. And when I put it in series, I'll connect it. And when I connect it, I get the base right here. I'm going to set it up to 0. And when I set it up to 0, now I can attach the torque wrench. And when I attach the torque wrench, I'll go ahead and pull it. And that's where you get your degree reading. Make sure you use an angle gauge next time you torque.
Well, if you're going to grab a snack, you better do it in a hurry, because Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat, is going to be back in just a couple of minutes.
Motorhead Garage, presented by TopCoat, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking header bolt. Locking kits now available for all turbo applications. Go to stage8.com. Iron Bear Customs, your Jeep Wrangler bumper company. Dirt Poor Off-Road, custom-made off-roading accessories made in the USA. And by Tribotex, make your engine last longer.
They say necessity is the mother of invention, but every once in a while, a scientist is willing to accept a happy accident. Pasha, that's exactly what happened when you found Tribotex. What were you researching when you discovered this product?
We was working on artificial joints.
Artificial joints, like hips.
Yes.
So how do you go from that to this?
People used materials that happen to be toxic, and that spurred a lot of innovation in this area. And we started looking at the safe materials that slide on each other. And when they slide on each other, the particles don't attach to the surface. So they get removed after time from the interface. So we came up with the concept that when you make a nanoparticle and make it slippery only on one side, but adhesive on another side, grippy, then these particles, when they apply to the surface only by one side, but not by another. And over time, when this process happens, it covers the area in the thick enough coating that compensates for the wear that happened there for decades.
So how did you go from that then to decide, hey, I can use this in a car?
It takes a long time to bring innovation to medical devices market. So when we use the technology in engines, the customers can get benefit way faster.
So it's all about nanoparticles, and effectively they make your car perform better, but they can also actually repair it. Is that correct?
Yes. Slow amount of damage cause excessive vibration that exacerbate the wear farther down the road. When you compensate for the wear early on in the game, your engine not just lasts longer, but rejuvenate to back when it was new.
So you can check out the science behind all of it, and you can find out what it could do for your vehicle. Go to Tribotex.com. You know, whether you are cruising down the highway in the comfort of your automobile or tearing it up on the trails in your ATV, you know that a flat tire can not only be a detriment, it can ruin your entire day, it can ruin your entire weekend. There's a lot of additives out there you can put in your tire that are going to seal it and they're going to inflate it. Those things don't work. In fact, they're going to ruin your tires. But there's something different now. It's called Tireject. Brandon Reagan and his father invented it. They're in upstate New York, and Brandon is joining us here today. Brandon, tell us how Tireject is different from the other stuff that's out there.
Well, Tireject is a much thinner liquid than your traditional gel-based sealants. Most of the stuff you find on the shell, it's a real thick liquid that doesn't flow very nicely in the tire. It's common for it to cause tire balance issues and a whole host of problems that comes along with that. But with Tireject, it's a much thinner liquid. It's made from a liquid rubber, and it allows us to quickly flow around the tire, and it can get full coverage. This allows us to seal not only tread punctures, but bead leaks. And bead leaks are a huge problem today, and no other tire sealant can solve that type of problem.
Now, I was shocked when I was first introduced to the product, because sidewall leaks, that's usually a game over right there.
Yeah, for sidewalls, that's another reason we can reach that area, is because it's a thinner liquid. And all the other sealants out there, it's not possible for them to get there, because you have the rotational momentum of the tire that forces that only into the tread area, and it sticks and stays there. Where Tireject is always that thin flowing liquid, so as the speed of the vehicle is changing, it can easily slosh up onto the sidewalls and cover those types of punctures, and also bead leaks around the bead of the tire.
Now, it's such a thin liquid, I noticed that right off the bat. So how can it seal so well, and how big of a hole does it seal?
So we use liquid rubber, and we also use a couple of different fibers and particles. We use an aramid fiber, which is a super high strength fiber, and we also use recycled rubber tire particles. And so where air is rushing out of a puncture or a leak, doesn't matter where it is, the fiber and the rubber particles is what's wedging into the puncture, and the liquid rubber is actually what bonds to the rubber of the tire, and it's a permanent seal. And so we have two product lines, one for our automotive and one's for off-road. And automotive side, we take care of up to 1/4 of an inch puncture in the tread. And the off-road product can get up to 3/8 of an inch puncture, and that covers tread, sidewall, any leak that's in the tire. And actually for off-road, we can even do a minor dry rot, which happens for older like lawnmower tires or ATV tires. Anything that's going slower speed, we can do tire dry rot as well.
How long does the seal last once you put TireJect into the tire?
Sure, yeah, the seal is 100% permanent, and that's because of the liquid rubber that we use, and we are the only tire sealant that uses this type of liquid rubber that gives you that permanent seal.
Now, we had the chance to actually use it on a tire, and we punctured it with a couple of screws, took those screws out, tire was flat. Tell us quickly how the process works.
The air is already out of the tire, so our kits, they include a valve core removal tool. So you're simply unthreading the valve core out of the middle of the valve stem. And the kit also includes a hose and cap for our pouch that slides over top of the valve stem. You open the cap and just squeeze the liquid in. After you've dispensed the entire pouch, you put the valve core back in, air the tire back up, and you're on your way. As soon as you drive around and on contact with the sealant, it'll make that permanent seal for your tire.
And now my final question, which is probably the most important question, is TireJect safe for your tires?
Yes, TireJect is 100% safe for your tire and rim, just because of the materials that we use. They do not cause any kind of corrosion or rust problems at the tire.
Well, I have to tell you, Brandon, we were skeptical at first when we saw it, but once we used it, we were convinced, and I know you folks at home will be convinced too once you see it. Go to TireJect.com. That is all the time we have today for Motorhead Garage. Be sure to tune in next week, and if you miss us in the meantime, check us out on our Facebook page. And you can email Jeff at masterstv.com if you have something you'd like to see on the show. Until next time, we will see you on Motorhead Garage presented by TopCoat. So long.